Alright, so today I'm going to be talking about my Ancestry DNA results, and I'm also going to be talking about my heritage results. I basically got the Ancestry DNA test, and I put it in the mail, and they made me, well, I sent out for it. I paid for it online. I sent out for it, and they sent me back a kit, and you basically put your saliva into the kit and send it off. They estimate that the whole process takes between 4 to 6 weeks. Mine took exactly 6 weeks from the start of the project to the end of it. So I received it in the exact time they said, and so I was excited about that. I did my Ancestry test back in August, so I already know the results. I already saw them before, but what I wanted to do was make a video because I enjoy watching the Ancestry DNA videos so much. So I wanted to make a video for you guys so you guys can see my results. So a little background story. I am originally from Long Beach, California. That's Southern California, and both of my parents are from Compton, California. And both sides, my maternal grandmother and my paternal grandmother, their great grandparents are both from Shreveport, Louisiana, and so both of my sides of my family are from Shreveport. And I believe that since I saw my mom, she got her test first, and so her test showed that she was 80, I think 5 or 6% African. So I just figured that, okay, when my test comes back, I'm gonna be like maybe 83% African American. Well, not African American, but African. And so that's what I expected my results to be. Of course, that was not the case, and I was definitely shocked. My whole life, people have been asking me, okay, so what are you mixed with? And I always tell them black and black, So obviously that was not the case either. But I expected my African to be like in the mid 80s, and that's just what I expected. So on my father's side, everybody claims to be like Creole and, mixed with like black and French and Indian. And I know that my paternal great grandmother was Choctaw Indian, and my maternal great grandfather, his dad was Caucasian and his mom was Choctaw Indian as well. And again, they're from the same place, Shreveport, Louisiana. So that's what I figured I would see in my DNA results. I figured I'll see some Native American, some African ancestry, like mostly African ancestry, and like a little sprinkle of European, because on my father's side, his grandfather has Caucasian. I think his maybe parents were mulatto or something. And then on my great grandpa on my mom's side, his dad was considered mulatto. And so I know there would be a little bit of European, but I didn't think that much. So anyway, I want to get straight into the results. I'm going to read from Ancestry, Ancestry.com. And so when I put up the results, I came up 36% Nigerian. I'm a Niger girl. So I came up 36% Nigerian, 22% Great Britain, England, Scotland, Wales, 13% Senegal, 11% Benin and Togo. Then for my lower confidence regions, I came up 3% African, Southeastern Bantu, 2% Mali, 2% Cameroon, Congo. These are places in Africa. 2% Africa, South Central Hunter and Gatherers. 1% Native American. Less than 1% Iberian Peninsula. Less than 1% Melanesia, which I think those are in Europe. Melanesia is in... Is that like... It's like by Australia, New Guinea, Bismarck, places like that. Ireland, Scotland, Wales was less than 1%. Ivory Coast, Ghana, which is in Africa, was less than 1%. Less than 1% Caucasus Mountains, or Caucasus region, which is like Armenia, Iran, Iraq, Syria, Turkey. And then Europe West, less than 1%. And that was Belgium, France, Germany, Netherlands, Switzerland, places like that. Scandinavia, less than 1%. And then Europe East, less than 1%. And I identify with the regions of Virginia and southern states of African Americans. And so I was actually all over the place. Like I'm gonna put my map up so you can see that it's like colorful everywhere. And so that was really shocking to me, and it was really surprising that, I mean, my results were literally everywhere. So then I decided, okay, well, I know that I can take my DNA results and I can put it into other programs, since I know that Ancestry.com actually goes by ranges, and they I think submit your thing like 40 times or something, and they average it out, and so they do ranges. And I know that my heritage actually gives you like percentages, like actual percentages on where your DNA came up as. And so I went ahead and uploaded my DNA results into myheritage.com, and I'm going to read the results for that. So they're a little bit more specific in some areas, and in other areas they're not. So they tell you the total of the places first, and so that way you can see the regions. Ancestry.com used to do that, and then they switched their whole system around just to show you like a hierarchy from the most percentage to the least, instead of like regions. But I like the regions better. So on my heritage DNA, I was 66.9% African, which is a shocker because I thought I was going to be like in the mid 80s, and I was 66.9% African. 63.3% coming from West Africa. That's 38.4% Nigerian, so I'm for sure Nigerian. 18% Sierra Leonean, which was a lot of those places that were broke down on Ancestry.com. And then 6.9% West African, and those were, again, a lot of those places that were broken down on Ancestry.com. I'm 3.6% East African, so the Maasai people, I was 2%, and 1.6% Kenyan. So East African, which I don't think a lot of African Americans actually get East African, so I thought that was pretty cool. I am 28.8% European on here. From North and West Europe, I am 22.3%. 17.3% of that is North and West European, and that's just like German, French, and Dutch people. So the French, again, that will explain like the Creole that I heard about, so that makes sense. I mean, it could be German or Dutch, but I mean, we always hear Creole, and then, you know, Louisiana, so I mean, 17.3% of that. And then 5% Irish, Scottish, and Welsh. And so for my grandfather, my great-grandfather on my mom's side, they always said that it was Scottish in the family, and so that 5% makes sense. And then I'm 6.5% East European, and that's like Russia, Ukraine, Poland, and Hungary. And so, I mean, again, that was explained in the other DNA, but this is just broken down a little bit more for the European part. And then in America, so that's Native American, I am 3.6% on here, Native American. So even though it's at 1% on the other one, it was a range between 1 and 5%. And so here it has 3.6%. which came up as Central America, which spans from Mexico to Colombia and Venezuela. And a lot of it is mestizo. I don't know how to say that. So for anybody who is like Spanish and Native American and they know how to say it, but basically mestizo, I think it is a mixture of Spanish, Native American, African ancestry. So a lot of people from Puerto Rico and Dominican Republic have it, but basically it came from like the Mayan people. And so, yeah, 3.6% Central American. So, I mean, that made more sense to me than the 1%, just because I have actual like pictures and stuff of my great grandparents and stuff who were actually Choctaw Indian on both sides. So yeah, 3.6% Central American. And then last I have Asia as well, Central Asia. That's 0.7%, so really low. And again, they were saying that on the other one, but they didn't tell me the places. And here it says that it's Kazakhstan and I don't know, Kazakhstan and kind of like Afghanistan area. It says Uzbekistan, I don't know, but I guess a lot of people were there during the trade time, and it was where like Genghis Khan and stuff passed through, and so it was a very like popular area back in the days. But that's 0.7, so it's not even a whole percentage. But that is the breakdown of my ancestry as far as myheritage.com is concerned. So I just basically looked at both of them, and you know, they basically all say the same thing. I think that for me, my heritage gave me more details, but I chose Ancestry.com because everybody in my family that has done the Ancestry tests, they have chosen Ancestry.com. And Ancestry.com also has a good database to match you with your family members. Even though I already know most of my family members, it's nice to see like, you know, distant cousins, to see like, hey, like we have some of the same people. So that's why I chose Ancestry. But I'm thinking about trying 23andMe. I saw a lot of good results with that. And just FYI, if you guys didn't know, a lot of times on these sites you can actually download your DNA results and put them into different systems to see different things. Like, you can't do it with Ancestry and 23andMe because they are like direct competition, and they're like the leaders in the game right now. So it doesn't work for them. But like, you can use MyHeritage to put it in. And also, if you use this place called Prometheus, it's like Prometheus, but the N ends in ASE. You can upload your DNA, and I think it's like $5, and you can actually see all your like your genetic background. So I mean, also you have to be careful because this is your DNA, so it is your genetic code, and you don't want it to be uploaded to the wrong place. So I would do my research and see where you actually can upload it. But download your files so that you can have them, like I did. And so I do have my DNA results, and you can definitely put them into different databases so that they can, you know, match up with different things. And so I highly suggest doing that. Like, it took, I mean, the money that was paid for it, like, it was nothing compared to like all the things that I got to find out about myself. So my DNA results were definitely shocking to me, because I thought that I would definitely be high in African, and I am still high in African, and I thought I would be Nigerian, and I was Nigerian. And so that's great, because I just feel like a Nigerian inside. So I was so happy about the Nigerian. And then it was just interesting to find out those other places that I would never even have thought of, and I probably won't look up after this, but it was definitely a good learning experience, and I think that everybody should try it. So this is the end of the video. If you liked it, please comment. My baby is right here. Yes, baby? Okay, I have two babies, a 1-year-old and a 3-year-old, and they just be talking, and then I'm pregnant again, so, but yeah, if you liked this video, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. On my channel, I'm normally doing hair posts, and I want to start implementing beauty posts and lifestyle posts into it as well. I might start another channel for motherhood. I'm thinking about all these things in 2018, but my goal is to become a YouTube content creator this year. So I want to thank people that have subscribed to me and didn't unsubscribe for my lack of content, and I hope that I get some new subscribers. All right, thanks. Bye.